Hey everybody, it's Ollie. Yes, this is a different sort of setting. If you haven't seen my previous video, my Top 5 Wednesday video, then go check that out. It has an explanation as to why I'm in this setting, and as to why you might hear possible background noises. But yes. So this video is something I'm really excited for, and it is a book haul. I know a few months ago I said that I probably wasn't going to have a book haul for a while because money issues, and books are expensive, and I have literally so many books on my TBR shelf. It is ridiculous. But, this past Saturday there was a book bonanza at my local library, and they were giving away books. So I managed to get quite a bit of books, 34 to be exact, which is a lot, especially since some of these are like really big books, and there are two of them that are huge and they are hardcover, and it's just insane, and I don't know how I managed to get them all home. So yes, I have a lot of books to go through, so I'm just going to get right to it. I'm not going to talk too much about the book or why I got it, etc. So if you want to check those out, I would suggest checking Goodreads. But yes, get comfy for this one because I have no idea how long it is going to be. So the first book that I have to show you all is one that I already own. So technically it's not going to be a part of my TBR, it's not going to be a part of my TBR shelf, thankfully. But it's still, like, taking up room on my shelf, and I sort of don't know why I grabbed it, but I sort of do. And that is Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson, and it's hardcover, and I had previously the paperback, so now I have both the paperback and a hardcover, which is cool. Yeah, I got it solely for that reason, because hardcovers, and it was free, so yeah. The next book I got is Prism by Faye Kellerman and Eliza Kellerman. So my library was fortunate enough to receive boxes upon boxes of new released books, and I picked up about 3 different ones. They all seem like they're pretty decent YA books. So this next book that seems to be a new release, I'm still not 100% sure if these are new releases or not. I mean, I probably should have checked, but you know. On a Dark Wing by Jordan Dane. The next book that seems to be a new release is The Covet by Melissa Darnell, and it seems to not be the first one in the series. A few of the books in this haul are like this, but I got them just because they looked interesting and they were free, and I can always try and find the first or whatever book in the series if I want to read it that bad. The next book, another one that also seems to be a new release, is Intertwined by Gina Showalter. The next book I have is Bliss by Lauren Miracle. The next book I have is the third, I believe, in a series, and that is Pawn. The reason I picked it up is because I did see these previously at my local Shoppers Drug Mart. The only reason why I didn't get the first few books at the time, like at the store, was because I wanted other ones. So I had to have a compromise. The next 3 books are part of a series, and I actually don't know hardly anything about them. The first book in this series is Your Heaven by Sheila Davidson. Number 2 in that series is Heaven's Tears. And number 3 in that series is Heaven Knows. The next 2 books are also part of a series. I unfortunately don't think I have the first one in the series, but I have 2. But I have 2 and 3. The second book in this series is The Map of the Sky by Felix J. Palma. Third one, or what I'm assuming is a third one, is The Map of Chaos. So up next, I have a graphic novel, and that is Stardrop by Mark Oakley. Halifax, A Literary Portrait. Next 2 books I have are sort of psychology related. I've stated in previous videos that I am fascinated by psychology, and hopefully I'd like to go to school for it. But this next book is The Storming of the Mind Inside the Conscious Revolution by Robert Hunter. The Pearson Custom Library, Psychology. This next book is a non-fiction, which is sort of a rare thing for me to pick up, but again, it was free. It seemed fascinating, so I was like, why not? And that is The Perfect Heresy, The Revolutionary Life and Death of the Medieval Cathars by Stephen O'Shea. The next book is something sort of different. I haven't really seen anything like this before, but it also looks sort of old, so I don't know. And that is The Astrologer's Handbook by Francis Sakoyan and Louis Lewis S. Acker. The next book I have is Selected Latin Readings. The next book is a poetry book, and this one is The Poetry of the Negro, 1746 to 1970. And it's just a selection of what I can assume to be African American / African Canadian poets or authors or just writers in general. The next one is also poetry, and that is contemporary American poetry. And the last poetry book that I have is English poetry of the mid and late 18th century. So, delving into the classics, there is one which I believe it is a classic. I haven't really seen it. Yeah, it's a Penguin classic. It's just one that I haven't really seen, and it doesn't seem as popular as the other ones that I got, but is The Black Cloud by Fred Hoyle, and it seems like a post-apocalyptic type thing. The next book that I have is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. These next 2 classics are one I have seen everywhere, and people have said nothing but good things about them. And the first one is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. The next one I got is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. These last 6 books are ones that I was excited the most to pick up, so I'm just going to get right into those. First one of those is A Prairie as Wide as the Sea, which is a Dear Canada book, and this one is centered around an immigrant from Saskatchewan, 1926. As a Canadian, these books have been my childhood. So when I saw one, I decided to pick up while I still had the chance. The next book is What the Night Knows by Dean Koontz. The next book I was really excited to pick up was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The next book I picked up was Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Maberry. Next book I was excited to find was Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. The second to last book that I found and picked up was this monster, Outlander, the 20th anniversary edition by Diana Gabaldon. And the last book that I got, arguably one that I am the most excited for, and that is The More Than Complete Hitchhiker's Guide by Douglas Adams. So, basically, the complete 5 Hitchhiker's Guide books, all in one, all in this big edition here. So, yes, that is my long, exhausting haul for you guys. All of those books were free, and just, again, how I managed to carry all of those books to my house is just amazing. So, the big problem with this is that I do not have any bookshelf space left, and I do not, I can't afford another bookshelf. So unless, I don't know, we find one on the side of the road or something, like one that works, or just I don't know, build one from scratch or something, I'm gonna have nowhere to put these books. So they're all sitting on the bed in the other room. So much reorganization that is going to be involved. And yeah, kind of pretty exhausting, but still amazing nonetheless. I'm excited to get into that. Organizing books is arguably one of my favorite parts of it. It's not even actually reading those books, but just organizing them, putting them on the bookshelf, and just standing there and looking at them. You know? You probably know. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up the video here, as it is already probably over 20 minutes long, so whoops. But yes, that is it from me this week, and you'll see another video from me next week, which is another Top 5 Wednesday. So yes, bye!